Aliana Williams, a name that echoed through courtrooms across the nation. At just 32, she had risen to become the youngest partner in one of the country's most prestigious law firms. Feared by her opponents, admired by her colleagues, she was a legal powerhouse whose victories made headlines. But beyond the spotlight, Aliana's life was far more guarded. Behind closed doors, she shared her world with Damien, a quiet, gentle man who balanced her intensity with peace. For 2 years, their love remained hidden. To the world, Aliana was untouchable. To Damien, she was simply human. Aliana's choice for secrecy wasn't without reason. She was the only surviving daughter of billionaire philanthropist Richard Carson. Her sister, Vanessa, had died years earlier under mysterious circumstances, a wound that never truly healed. Determined to protect what remained of her family, Aliana guarded her private life fiercely, never letting the public in. Richard Williams. To the world, he is the epitome of virtue. A billionaire celebrated for his charitable contributions and vast business empire. A beloved husband, an exceptional father, admired, respected, untouchable. But Aliana is unaware of the truth. Beneath the polished facade, Richard is the lord of the nation's most powerful and secretive drug cartel. For years, he has balanced both worlds without detection, a master of shadows and light. Until one night, everything changes. During a high-stakes deal with international smugglers, something goes wrong. A witness stumbles upon the exchange, a man who should never have been there. Richard gives the order. Eliminate him. No questions, but the witness is Damien. Aliana's love, the man who had simply walked into the wrong place at the wrong time. Damien is executed, his body discarded, a life erased to protect the cartel's secrecy. Aliana is shattered. The news of Damien's death crushes her spirit, but something feels wrong. The official story doesn't add up, and her instincts refuse to stay silent. She steps away from her rising legal career, an indefinite leave, her days swallowed by grief, her nights haunted by questions. Depression threatens to consume her, but her need for answers keeps her alive. Determined, Aliana begins her own investigation, every skill, every instinct honed as a lawyer. She now turns against the shadows in her life. Piece by piece, the truth emerges, disturbing evidence, hidden connections, and then the unthinkable revelation. Her father, Richard Williams, the man she loved, admired, trusted, is the criminal mastermind behind Damien's death. The truth cuts deeper than any blade. Her father's hands are stained with the blood of the man she loved. Aliana swears to bring her father to justice. Every piece of evidence, every document, every lead she gathers, determined to dismantle his cartel. But in her pursuit of truth, she uncovers something far darker. Damien, the man she mourned, the man she loved, the man she thought was pure, he wasn't always who she believed. As she digs deeper into his past, a chilling picture forms, a history of crime, gangs, and violence. And then, the revelation that shatters her soul. Years ago, Damien crossed paths with Vanessa, not as a friend, not as a savior, but as her tormentor. He had assaulted her, a crime so vile it drove Vanessa into despair, a spiral that ended in her death. The irony burns like fire. The man who found redemption in faith, who turned his life around, never knew the woman he loved was the sister of the woman he destroyed. For Aliana, the world collapses once again. The truth is unbearable. Her father, her betrayer. Damien, her illusion. Love, faith, family, all broken. And Aliana stands in the ruins of her own heart. Aliana is torn apart. The man she loved and lost was the same man who destroyed her sister. Damien's sins haunt her. Her father's crimes suffocate her. Every breath feels like betrayal. Her heart pulls in one direction, her conscience another. Justice demands a choice. At last, she confronts her father. Richard, shaken by the collapse of his empire and the truth laid bare, begs for forgiveness. But Aliana cannot bend. Not this time. With trembling hands but unshakable resolve, she delivers her evidence to the authorities. The empire falls, the cartel crumbles, and Richard, her father, is led away in chains. For Aliana, there is no triumph, only silence. Justice has been served, but at a price that shattered her soul. Justice is served, but Aliana feels no triumph. The two men who defined her life, her father and Damien, are gone. Her family's empire lies in ruins, and in the silence that follows, victory feels hollow. She retreats from the world. No more headlines, no more cases, just grief and the shadows of memories. Yet time has its way of softening even the deepest wounds. One day she visits her father in prison. Richard, broken, aged, and stripped of power, finally faces the weight of his sins. With a trembling voice, he admits the destruction he caused. Aliana listens, and though her heart still aches, she forgives him. Not to absolve him, but to free herself. In that moment, she chooses peace. From the ashes of her family's downfall, she begins anew. No longer the daughter of a billionaire, no longer the lover of a reformed criminal, but a woman forged in pain, standing in her own strength. In memory of her sister Vanessa, she builds a foundation for victims of trauma, offering them justice, healing, and hope. She remains alone but not empty. Through her work, she finds solace, and at last, she begins to heal. Outside the courthouse, Aliana pauses. The weight of her journey settles over her. Justice won for her sister, a criminal empire brought to its knees, and her life reclaimed from the shadows. Her heart is still heavy, but she is no longer broken. She is stronger, wiser, unshakable. In time, love may find her again, but for now she walks forward alone, head high, eyes steady, ready to face whatever comes next. And as the doors of her past close behind her, a new chapter begins.